I'm Rob Koplowitz with Analysis.Tech. And today I want to talk to you about a topic that we're going to be discussing a lot more in the course of the next few weeks here, which is process mining. And you might be asking yourself, well, why do we want to talk about process mining on a podcast and an offering that's focused on low code and digital process automation? Well, we think it's part of the larger goals that you're trying to achieve. You're all trying to drive towards transformation through automation, and that really requires a continuous improvement cycle in all of your automation efforts. So, where do we start? Well, we start with insight and analysis. And the reason we bring process mining and process analytics and task mining to bear here is they do a couple of things that are really interesting. One, they give us objective insight. This is not people's opinions as to how your processes are running. It is actual objective insight as to how your processes are actually running within your organization. And number two, you can do it at scale in an automated way. You can do this much more efficiently and effectively. And done right, it should start to provide some insight and ability to analyze where you can do things better. What are your friction points? Where are your processes differing from how they're documented? There's a whole treasure trove of things that we can actually take from these process mining type of tools. Well, what do we do with that output? We now know that we have some things that could actually run more efficiently, more effectively, some opportunity to optimize. Well, we start to move into re-engineering and collaboration cycles. And the way we do that is through process mapping and documentation tools. These tools are collaborative by nature. They allow all of the stakeholders in your organization to come together, say, we now have a view as to how our processes are running. How should they run? How can we optimize these processes? And we should really think about doing this before we jump into an automation cycle. Once we've actually optimized the process, documented, everybody agrees that this is the way we should proceed, you can have huge benefits from driving into an automation cycle. Now, not always. Sometimes no automation is the answer. We acknowledge that. But we believe that automation is quite often the answer and is really critical to transforming your organization. What are the tools you use to do that? Well, we will focus in this podcast on low code, digital process automation. Increasingly, we'll talk about robotic process automation. And as you can see, this is a continuous improvement cycle. You don't necessarily have to jump into it starting with process mining. You can jump into it with mapping and documentation, with process optimization. You could even start with automation and start to move into the cycle. But if you start to get the flywheel going on this process, you'll start to see really rapid improvement and really a lot more automation in your organization, which is what we're driving toward.